did you find out today the game would be postponed, and just what was your immediate reaction to that news?
Well, we were actually in a coaches meeting, probably, I don't know, 10:15, 10:30, getting ready for an 11 o'clock walkthrough at the hotel, going through our game plan on Dallas. And Griff came in and told us, there's a good chance we'll know in the next hour. There's a good chance it's going to be postponed. So we pushed the walkthrough back an hour till noon. Told the players it was because of, our testing coming back, and we just waited to get the word. So we probably got the word, I don't know, sometime after 11 o'clock, 11:15, 11:30. But we had known about it before. And, our flight left late yesterday, so we knew it was a possibility yesterday. And as far as reaction, Christian, this is the NBA in 2021. So I don't really have any big reaction to it. It's just the way it is. And it more than likely will not be the last time. And you just move on and do what you have to do that day. And, I know it's cliche, but in this year, it's absolutely true. It is literally one day at a time.
Hey, Stan, it's Andrew from ESPN. At this point, I guess what concerns do you have that are COVID related, whether it's having to play a game or a stretch of games with 7 or 8 guys, or I think we've already talked about what you're going to do on the road, but what main concerns do you have right now, just COVID related?
I mean, Andrew, my only concern is for people getting it. Like it's not basketball related, and how many guys will have to play a game or anything like that. I'm not one of these guys who has downplayed this thing at all. First of all, personally, I'm 61 years old. The shit scares me. I mean, it scares me. I don't want to get it. And I'm scared for other people getting it too. So I'm just don't want anybody in our group or anywhere else for that matter to get it. That's my concern. The basketball stuff, whatever happens, like what happened today, game canceled, we'll take care of all that. I'm not saying that's not important, but that's secondary. This is a serious, virus. I know people who have had it and have been ill from it. I don't want it, and I don't want anybody else to have it. And we're in the middle of a huge surge of it, and I just want everybody to be as careful as possible. That's my concern.
It feels weird to even ask about basketball, but I'm just going to ask you about basketball anyway. I know, you haven't got the practice time you wanted. I mean, what was it like just, getting to practice in? What did you guys work on?
Well, look, we sort of continued from yesterday, transition defense, getting up and down the floor, our running game on offense, our offensive organization and execution. So, it was just really a continuation of yesterday. It was surprisingly good practice. My expectations were that when you have a game canceled and now you're going to try to practice, that it was going to be a little bit like pulling teeth, which was probably an unfair expectation of our guys anyway, because I haven't had any reason to question their work ethic all year. And so I probably shouldn't have questioned it today. I've been in those situations only a couple of times, and because I've never been in COVID, but I have been in with a couple of games canceled, and it usually just sort of takes all the juice out of everybody. But we actually had an outstanding practice today.
Hey, Coach, this is Fletcher with WDSU in New Orleans. Getting back to the COVID situation, can you use this, since it was Dallas and not your team, as just a reminder to be vigilant? Not that you want to make anybody else the villain in any way, but just to kind of remind your guys how vigilant you have to be, and the protocols can't be, skipped in any way, or this could be you all dealing with it.
Yeah, and I think our guys are well aware of that, but at the same time, there are no villains here. Listen, you can be as vigilant as you want, and you could have a 15-second interaction with somebody and get it. And then you're around your teammates and everything else. So I don't think that it's even fair to think that anyone on, the Mavericks was in any way not vigilant. Like that's what I'm saying. I guess I'm just, maybe call me alarmist or whatever. But I've taken this thing very seriously from the beginning. This is a highly contagious, deadly virus that's not to be messed around with. And unless we all go back to where we were in March and lock ourselves down in our homes and literally don't go anywhere, like we're all vulnerable. You try to mitigate that as much as you can and take away as much of the risk as you can. But unless you're just going to stay in your house, there's just no way to mitigate all the risks. So I don't look at anybody and think like, oh, Dallas's guys were out screwing around, or I don't think that's necessarily the case. This is a tough disease. And until we get everybody vaccinated, we're going to be dealing with it. And these things are going to come up and it's scary. And that's what I want people to make sure they know. This is not trivial. It's not a matter of a game being canceled. It's a matter of a deadly pandemic.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach.
All right.
Did I break my nose or something?
They can hear you.
They can hear me?
Yeah.
Well, you guys can see this, eh? My nostril there is bigger than this one. Is yours the same?
I don't know.
Sorry.
Hey, Stephen, Christian Clark with NOLA.com here. I guess, when did you learn that this game would be, postponed tonight? And I guess what was kind of the mentality of like, oh, we're going to play this game and now I just got to readjust it and go to practice? What were you just feeling?
I mean, you hit it right on the bloody head, mate. It was just ready for a game, and then there's no game. So we just go and do practice. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's good that we didn't waste a day, though. You know?
And just to follow up on that, I mean, look, I know there are no perfect solutions in this, but like, are you comfortable just, pushing forward with the season? Are you comfortable like doing this?
Doing what, sorry?
I mean, I guess generally just like playing a season and traveling during a pandemic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think so, bro. I think because the NBA, I mean, like, there's been a lot of effort and a lot of brain power and all that from, especially with like the health and safety aspect, mate. Like, to try and make it as safe as possible, right? But you could always criticize it as much as you want, but I feel like we're in a relatively safe space if we're responsible, right? So yeah, in theory, it should work, I think. But yeah, there's always going to be hiccups too. They don't actually know themselves. Everyone's trying to figure it out, right? So all in all, mate, I think I don't have no problem with it myself. I'll probably have a problem if I get COVID though. My mindset will change. Bastards, yeah.
Hey, Stephen, it's Andrew from ESPN. How are you feeling? I know you were on the injury report yesterday with the migraine. It's been something that you've kind of dealt with.
Yeah.
Well, you were. Surprise. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I feel a bit better, bro. I was feeling pretty shit yesterday though. So yeah, no matter what happened today, as long as it is not a migraine, it would have been a good day in my books. Yeah.
Hey, Christian Clark here again. On the basketball side, Stan has talked a lot about, he felt like you guys were starting to form some good habits during training camp, but it's been difficult because of the lack of practice time. What is the biggest difference you've seen on defensive end these past 4 games as opposed to the first 5 games of the season?
What's the biggest difference defensively?
Yes.
Yeah, was I mean, obviously there's slippages in all sorts of areas, but it's also one of those things too where not every team plays the same, so they're challenging you in different ways, if that makes sense. So a lot of things ain't gonna kind of be as obvious until you play different teams that focus on different aspects, right? And it could be little things like they'll send all 5 guys to offensive rebound and they don't care about transition defense. We stuff like that, like maybe we haven't seen that before, right? So it's different challenges there. There's not really one thing to really kind of just nail down on apart from transition defense, just because that one seems like the most easy fix. Well, yeah, the reward you get from it, the amount of value in that, I think that one's the easier than the others to turn around, right? So, yeah, I don't know. Is that good enough, mate? That quote?
Quick follow-up real quick. I know, we asked you during training camp, like, oh, how is it all coming together? And you said, it's like watching the grass grow. You can't really tell right now. Is it, how early is it? Like, can you tell how the grass is growing 9 games in? Is it still too early?
Yeah, it's still too early now. I mean, there's still a lot of basketball to be played. And then it's also, yeah, I mean, it's just 9 games. They're outside of all, like, I know we've got some losses that we should have won and all that sort of stuff, but there's been a lot of positive things as well. We usually talk about all the negative stuff, but there's a lot of positives that we've been doing, and it's just kind of expanding those moments in the game, right? We just get a bit more stamina, a bit more focus, and increase the bandwidth, yeah, so I would say it's still too early for the grass to grow, but then, to be honest, mate, I might tell you 40 games in, that is too early, just to avoid the bloody answer. So, I don't know, mate.
What's up, Steven? This is Will from The Athletic. Sorry to bring the injury report up again, but I know the buying grades are something you've dealt with in the past. I guess just what is it like when you're kind of going through that and when you're having one of those days? I know everybody has a story of what it's like dealing with those mind grades. I guess what's it been like for you in the past?
You've had a migraine before?
No.
Okay, yeah. Well, this will be hard to explain then, or well, for people to actually understand, I guess. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty shit, bro. You can't do anything, can't function. I lose vision in one of my eyes, and then I'll start throwing up after that, and then yeah, just major headache. Yeah, so you can't really move. Luckily, my symptoms aren't actually like, although they sound bad, some people can actually get them a lot worse and for a lot longer. So I'm relatively lucky in that sense, right? But yeah, all in all, bro, pretty bad time. Not ideal.
Hey, Stephen, one more here about you kind of mentioned it before about not losing a day since the postponement kind of came early. You guys were able to get this extra practice in. How do you think overall just beneficial that is to get another practice in before you guys get back on the court?
I think it's good, bro. Anytime, because again, like as I said before, like we're trying to get, like, there's not much time, and so whenever we could go in and kind of just fine tune things, any opportunity like that is very beneficial because of the short season, short, it's all condensed, short bloody training camp and all that sort of stuff, right? So extremely valuable. Yeah, and so yeah, that's good, boy. You can use that, mate. You can make that.
Appreciate it,
Okay.
Stephen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, Stephen.
Hey, Nikhil, Christian Clark with NOLA.com. In light of today's news, I mean, just generally speaking, what has been the message from, the team just about, staying vigilant and kind of just guarding yourself against this virus, when you're out on the road, especially?
Following protocol, following rules, doing the little things, making sure we're wearing our masks, keeping our distance, doing whatever we can to be available for times like this where we can practice, or hopefully we're not the reason that we're postponing a game.
Hey, it's Andrew from ESPN. For you guys, since this postponement came early in the day, you were able to get on the practice court this afternoon. How beneficial was it for you guys to get an extra practice in when you've played so many games? You guys haven't had that much time since the season started. How beneficial was that today?
I think it was crucial because like it gave us a chance to get better as a team, and for us to not play a game, to be on like a 3-game losing streak, to kind of come back together, regroup, get another practice in to where we feel more comfortable after what we've worked on and fine tuning some things.
Yeah, and when we talked to Stan, he said he was really happy about the practice. He said in the past, when teams have games canceled, it kind of takes the air out of the room. People, don't really want to get on the court. But he felt like you guys made some positive steps today. Just where do you feel like the progress is right now? Where are you really making some steps in the right direction after the past few games?
I think we're maturing as a team. Um, after those games, we're not looking back. We haven't been around the locker rooms and started turning on each other. We're drawing closer to each other. We're trying to figure it out. I truly believe each guy cares and wants this to go uphill. So everyone's pulling together, competing against each other in practice, just going the extra mile, doing what needs to be done at a different pace, a different sense of urgency in order for us to start applying on wins.
All right. Thank you, Nikhil. Appreciate it.